We are happy to welcome you to our next presentation. The topic of this presentation is change management. We will discuss what change management is and describe effective methods of implementation. We will show you how you can improve your ability to adapt to new situations in your personal or professional life. The only thing that is constant is change. Although these words were first said more than 2,000 years ago, they are still relevant today. More than ever before, we are able to observe this in our rapidly evolving world. More and more, often the mission of our life lays in its dynamics. So how do we deal with change without being constantly overwhelmed by it? Change can be defined as the process or act of becoming different. You experience change every day, in yourself, but also in people around you and in your environment. You face constantly varying emotional states, needs, expectations and relationships. You take on new roles and give up others. All of that is change. You must adapt to all of these shifting conditions to avoid being knocked down and left behind in your life. One method of allowing you to deal with change and its impact on your life is to implement change management into everyday practice. Change management is a technique most commonly used in business to help organizations adapt to shifting forces in their internal and external environments. The concept of change management teaches us that the natural reaction of every human to shifting conditions is to resist the change. However, when you understand how you experience change and why it is essential to your life, you will become wonderfully adaptive and more successful in transitioning into a better version of yourself. One of the most popular change management models is ADKAR. This tool is especially beneficial when you need to motivate yourself to adapt to the positive change in your life. It includes 5 steps that lead to achieving 5 outcomes essential to accept and implement change. ADKAR is an acronym that represents the 5 outcomes that people need to achieve for a successful change. These outcomes include awareness of the need for change, desire to support the change, knowledge of how to change, ability to demonstrate new behaviors, and reinforcement of the change. In order to successfully manage change using the ADKAR model, you need to first build awareness of the need for change and desire to move for your current state. To successfully transition, you need to apply knowledge concerning your needs and goals as well as your individual skills. Then you need to demonstrate the positive impact of your change on your behavior. The reinforcement phase requires your motivation to sustain the positive change in your life. So how can you manage change that seems to impact on your behavior in a negative way? Here we might apply the cycle of acceptance that allows you to understand how you experience change and how to manage the time that you spend on certain levels in the process of accepting it. The cycle of acceptance is a natural process that most people go through upon receiving very bad news or experiencing negative change. Entering the cycle is unavoidable, but the crucial issue is to manage the time that you require to reach from the denial to the acceptance phase. The longer it takes you, the less likely you will be able to deal with the change in a successful way. Have you ever received some bad news that made you question your long-followed beliefs? Or maybe you have lived through some tragic experience that turned your whole life upside down. Think of what was your immediate reaction when you first found out about this negative change in your life. Of course, everyone reacts to change individually, but the vast majority of people will experience one of 3 beginning steps in the cycle of acceptance: denial, anger, or depression. Understanding how you first react to negative change helps you to better respond to your emotions and target your focus and actions on proceeding directly to the bargaining phase or change acceptance. Bargaining is the core step in your change acceptance process. It allows you to assess the impact of the change in your life. In this step, you should think of what you can do to transform any negative influences into positive benefits. Also, you should deal with any emotions that you experience, especially if they are negative, such as regret, dissatisfaction, or feeling of personal failure. Take your time and spend as much of it as you need on this stage. Successful bargaining leads to an acceptance of change. You realize that the undesirable state of affairs is not going to go away, and learn to adjust your behavior and actions to new conditions. Only after the negative change is fully accepted are you able to effectively deal with it. Change is an inherent element of your life that comes in all shapes and sizes. It can have a negative or positive impact on your life. The key to successful adaptation to a new role or situation in life is effective change management. Depending on the character of the change, there are plenty of tools that can support you in the process of accepting the change and turning it into a benefit. Congratulations, you have just learned something useful. To learn more skills, visit our learning portal, which is completely free. All videos are available at the link unwind.work. Have a nice day and thank you for watching.